I have 16 minutes. So guys, I just want to explain to you what happened to me in Zimbabwe. Just hold on. I'm leaving the house. No, it's freezing today. It's freezing. So yeah, I just wanted to give everybody a heads up about what happened to me in Zimbabwe. Those diasporians going home, changing money and so on and so on. So basically, what happened to me was I was, along 4th, there's a lot of change money, guys. And basically, I went to change my US dollars into bond notes. Hold on. So basically, I was driving to Harare, and basically I went to change. I changed $100 along 4th. There's a lot of those change money, guys. They're all over the place, So I changed $100, and I put 80 in my Eco Cash, and I put 20 in bond notes. So I drove off, and I went to pick up my cousin brother in Epworth. So basically, I arrived at his house, and as I entered the house, 2 guys stopped me at the door. So he brought out his ID, said he was a policeman, whatever, so on. Can we talk to you outside? So I was like, what's the problem? What have I done wrong? And he was like, no, just come outside. Let's talk outside. So I went outside and I spoke with them. And then they're like, you committed a crime. And I was like, what crime did I commit? I didn't commit any crime. And basically he said, you changing money on the street is illegal. And that's a crime I committed. But I mean, these guys are every junction there's a change money guys like, oh man, why are you chasing me? Why is he chasing me? So basically he was like, we're taking you to the station. We're taking you to the station. So even my cousin brother and his wife, they were both there. And his wife is actually a policeman herself. So she was like, excuse me, what's going on over here? And, the guys were like, no, we have to take him to the station. He committed a crime. He changed money on the streets. It's illegal, blah, 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 blah. And this was a Friday, Friday the 10th. And it was actually my birthday. Imagine, it was actually my birthday. And basically, I was flying out back to Ireland on the Monday. So because I was going to Mutare, I had a lot of stuff in the back of the car. So my cousin couldn't fit in with me. So basically, they said the 3 of us should go. So the 2 guys and myself went to the station. So the other guy was sitting in the front. The other guy was sitting in the back with the stuff. And we started to drive off. So as we were driving from Epworth, these guys are classic thieves or classic cops, or whatever you want to call it. But basically, they did a good cop, bad cop on me. So basically, the guy in the front was asking me personal stories, personal things about me. He was like, so where you from? Where do you live in Ireland? Blah, 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 when you're going back. And I was like, and then the other guy was at the back. He was like, he's not going to pay anything. We have to take him to the station. Do you know that it's 10 years in jail for what you've done? And I was like, what? It's like 10 years in jail for changing money on the street. And I was like, and they were like, you diasporians, you're the ones who are causing economic problems in this country because you're changing money on the streets. You're not going to the banks. So, blah, blah, blah. And there was a guy on the phone with him. He'd be like, where is he? Where did you find him? They're like, oh, we found him. And it's when he said the 10 years in jail, I was like, and then they're like, you're not flying out on Monday. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, guys, you know what? Today is my birthday. And then the guy in the front, being nice as he was like, you know what, Ray, let me talk to my boss. I'll talk to my supervisor. Let me talk to my friend, but you have to do something, you have to pay, blah, blah, blah. You have to pay something. You have to pay a fine, whatever. I couldn't understand what they really wanted from me if I was arrested, if they wanted a bribe, I didn't know what exactly. They were plain clothes. They were wearing plain clothes, wearing suits, so it had me bold. And you know what? My priority was leaving on Monday. I had to fly out on Monday. So basically, we were going along the way. And then the guy in the back was like, so how much money did you change? And I was like, I changed 100. He was like, okay, give us that money. It's exhibit. And I was like, okay. So luckily, because I put 80 in my Echo Cash and I put 20 at 20 cash, which was about 320 bond. So basically, I gave him the 320 bond, and he's like, "Where's the rest of it?" I said, "Well, it's in Echo Cash. If you want, I'll send it to you." And he refused. And when he refused, I was kind of like doubting. I was like, if these are real cops, like, why would he be refusing? And he refused the money in the Echo Cash. And he's like, 320, this is nothing, like, And basically, they said, okay, stop by the side here. The guy on the nice guy, the nice cop. So he was like, stop here. And he was like, okay, do you have any more unchanged money with you? Do you have any more US dollars with you? And I was like, no, I don't. And then they were like, and then he was like, well, and then the guy in the back was, no, let's take him in. We have to take him in. He has to be punished for his crime. Go to jail, do the time. And then the guy in the front was like, no, let me talk to him. He says, Ray, we can search you. And if we search you, we find more US dollars on you, we can take it off you. And I knew that was bollocks because that's my money. You can't take my money. You can do me for the crime, but you can't take the money that I have. But because I was in that situation, I didn't know what was happening. I was like, okay, yeah, I have another 100 US. And he was like, okay, give us 80. I was like, freak you. No ways. I'm not giving you that money. I said, this is my money. So when I need to buy groceries for my grandmother and she's sick and so on and so on. And it's my birthday and we can go to the station. I said, we can go to the station, but I'm not giving you that money. And he was like, okay, so how much you want to give us? And, at this point in time, what I was thinking was that, like, I'm flying out. I have no time to go to jail. I have no time to go to the charge office and explain. And, when you go to the charge office, if you want to get out of anything, you're going to have to pay even more to the bosses and everything. So I was like, I didn't know what to say, and I was like, okay, I'll give you 40. And he was like, give me 50. I said, no, I'll give you 40. So basically, they took the 40 and they took the 20. So they took 60 US dollars off me. And basically, they got out of the car. They're like, you know what? Our supervisor is just on the way now. So you better get out of here, because if the supervisor sees you, he's going to ask, what's happening? What happened to him? So you better turn and get the freak out of there. And I was like, you know what? I have this over with. And I just turned the car and I went back to Epworth and to my cousin. Basically, so when I got there, I called the change money guy. His name was Tapio. And I was like, Tapio, I got followed by these guys. They followed me and basically they said, he's like, they're thieves, Ray. You should have come with them or gone with them to the charge office. They're thieves. And I was like, you know what? He's like, man, I'm sorry this happened to you and so on and so on. But you know what? If they're thieves, these guys are really bold. They are freaking bold. I mean, the fact that my cousin brother's wife is a cop, and basically when he showed his ID, he kind of showed it like this, kind of covering the bottom, because Tapi was like, you know what? If you check the back of ID, there's no stamp on it. They're thieves, and this is the second person I've heard that's happened to them because of these people. But you know what? They told me, if these guys are thieves. But you know what? I was thinking that, I think they were cops. But they're just corrupt cops that were looking for money, because that Friday was the weekend before schools open. So, you can tell there's a lot of scams going on because people are looking for school fees. And basically, I think that there were cops that just took the opportunity, because my car, I imported it from Ireland. It didn't have plates. I had a lot of stuff in the back. So they can tell. They're like, no, you know what? There's probably US dollars over here. So let's target this guy. So they followed me all the way from the 4th to Epworth. If they were real cops, why did they not stop me anywhere along the way? They stopped me when I arrived in Epworth. So they're like, we followed you all the way. So, even to this day, I'm like, what really happened, But I guess 60 euros not to find out what would have happened if I'd refused. But you know what? If we were at the beginning of my trip, I would have not paid that money. I would have not paid that money. I would have said, no, let's go to the station. Let's go. And then maybe negotiate with the boss at the station. But because I was at the end of my trip and I didn't want, because what they'll do to you is that they will hold you over the weekend. And they, there's no paperwork during the weekend and they release you on Monday. And I was flying out on Monday. That's if they even release you. So I just had to pay the money. 60 US is a lot of money, especially in Zimbabwe. It's a lot of money. But I guess in Ireland, it's not really a lot of money. But I mean, hey, I could use that $60 for a lot of things, but, so that's what's happening in Zim, guys. So when you go to Zim, just be careful with those change money guys. Some people would say maybe the change money guys sent them after me. But I don't think so. I changed my money in my whole holidays. I was changing with him. I don't think he's that type of guy. He's a cool guy. I just think these were opportunists. They saw me, they saw the car, and they just followed me. And they scam me, basically. So, man, Zim is tough. It's a doggy dog, man. I mean, people are looking for money, because, like I said, Zim people are working for transport. You can't be paying people bond and expect people to be paying fees and everything if they have kids and stuff like that. So, it's a struggle right now in Zimbabwe, but... you never think you've seen it all until you've actually seen it all. And you know what? I still haven't seen it all. There's a lot more to see in my life, in your life, in everybody's life. There's a lot more to see. But yeah, I just want to share that experience with you. But yeah, we live.